This is Songo Lesson 1C, 3+2 clave. In this lesson, we're going to look at 3 different ostinatos using only 2 voices. In this case, it's going to be your hi-hat and your snare drum are the ones that are playing the ostinato. What is changing is going to be your bass drum. That's the speaking voice. And what I'll do is I will demonstrate this for you so that you have an idea of what it sounds like. There's also a PDF document that you can download with the 3 ostinatos written out and the 4 examples of the bass drum examples for you to play. In addition to that, if you have the Afro-Cuban Coordination for Drum Set book, you're going to want to look at page 71. On page 71, you're going to find a lot of different combinations, your bass drum combinations that you can practice with these 3 ostinatos. The other thing is you've got page 72 and 73. There are 16 4-bar phrases. Now what's cool about this is that you can actually play the 4 bars going across, or you can just play them from the top of the page all the way down, because I think it's 16 altogether on each of the pages, okay? So 16 bars, and the bass drum is constantly changing. The other thing you can do is use, let's say 8 bars, and then do a repetitive 8-bar phrase with those longer phrases. So there's a lot of different ways that you can practice this. Let's not forget that in the Afro-Cuban book, there's also a CD that has play-alongs. I believe there are 2 play-alongs that you can use to go ahead and utilize and apply what you've learned so that you're playing with a band, you have a real feel. These are the best LA musicians in town that did these recordings, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each ostinato 2 times, and then I'm going to bring in the bass drum exercises. There's 4 of them. I will play them each twice. This way you get a chance to hear them. And my suggestion is that you do it slowly. I'm going to I'm going to do it at half note equals 100 on the metronome. And this is all written in cut time. So you have to read 1 ienda, 2 ienda, use 4-part counting. And the first ostinato is accents on the hi-hat. And so you're going to accent and unaccent. Now, when you're playing accented and unaccented notes, make sure that you're using the benefit of the stick itself to get those accents out. And what I mean by that is you're playing more of the shaft of your stick on the hat and then more of the tip when you're playing the unaccented notes like this. The movement of your wrist is also important, so try to involve that as well. It'll just make it easier for you. The second ostinato is the opposite. So it's an unaccented note and then the accents on the upbeat. Okay, so it goes like this. In the third ostinato, you're going to play an opening at the beginning of the phrase. So it's going to be 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 2. So on each of those half notes, on the 1 and on the 2, you're going to open your hat like this. So what I'll do is I will play each of the ostinatos twice, and then I'll play the bass drum examples. There's 4 of them. I'll play those twice. I'll play the next ostinato. You'll hear it 2 times just by itself, and then you'll hear the bass drum examples. I'll play the third one, then you'll hear the bass drum examples. So this way you can follow along. So there are the three ostinatos I just played for you. These ostinatos are in 3/2, and the clave is implied. It's not literally played. So it's still in there, it's just not being played anywhere specifically. And part of that is the accent on the snare drum is what helps to outline the clave within the groove itself. So make sure you see that there are going to be notes in parentheses, and those are ghost notes. And then the notes that are not in parentheses, you can actually play a little bit harder. It's a little tricky at first to get, but once you get it going, you'll see that it's not that difficult, and it fits in very nicely with everything else that's going on. I know that by now, if you've looked at other videos that I've done for you, that I'm going to ask you to play this on a different surface. And so it's no different with this one. You're going to want to go ahead and do this on the ride. So I'll play the three examples for you the same way I did on the hi-hat, but now you're going to concentrate on the ride cymbal. And believe me, it's going to feel a little bit different. All right, so here we go. Okay, the benefit of doing it on different surfaces is that it's going to feel completely different. And so the groove is going to take you a little while to get used to when you actually switch it over to another surface. So I hope that you get a really good workout with this. This is definitely a lesson that I would spend the time doing because it's such a great groove. And you can actually sneak it in and use it in a lot of different situations. Also, don't forget to listen to the style of music. You know, the Songo is sort of the jazz of Afro-Cuban music. And it's one of those rhythms that is applied to the drum set, and because it was invented on the drum set. It's not like we're taking hand percussion ideas and translating them over to the kit per se. It's a groove. Changuito is the one that basically gets the credit for coming up with the Songo, and there are a lot of different interpretations. This is one more interpretation of the Songo so that you can play it and try to coordinate your bass drum with it. And so until next time, you take care and drum on.